Hello everyone, Luxance here, your coach of the Groningen Gallades, and today I will be here with my fuck. Um uh 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 uh, uh, uh um okay, hello, I'm here. You weren't meant to see that. Anyway, I'm recording this pretty late, I'm not gonna lie. I have not had a lot of time this week to find time to do this, but we're here anyway for my PPL draft analysis, which you should be able to see like right over here. It says PPL, right? It says it really fucking small, but it is there. Trust me, it says PPL like right here. Anyway, so I'm here for my draft analysis. Usually I just do this on Showdown, but I figured I'd do it in Paint because I think that's funnier. So, that's why we have the cameo from Jack over here, because I took this literally straight from the draft stream. Because, as I said, I have not had a lot of time. But we out here. So, starting off with my number one pick is Torn. Like you know me, I draft Torn whenever I can, pretty much, and if it's like actually a valid pick at that pick. So Torn, Mienshao, Regen Court, that shit goes crazy, obviously. So honestly, I could talk about this draft in like deep detail on like every single pick, but like you know me, I draft Torn because Torn is good. It clicks knock, it clicks U-turn, it has fast taunt. Like what more could you want? It has regen, broken ability. That's all you need. Mienshao, it clicks knock, it clicks U-turn. Sometimes it clicks CC. What more could you need, right? So I'm also going to talk about like why I drafted these mons together rather than just individual pick by individual pick, I'd say. So as I said, Torn Mienshao to make a nice regen core. Torn is pretty good with dealing with like fighting types and like grass types and stuff like that. Obviously, grass types really nice for Rotom Wash, and both of those are very nice with Tinglu. Tinglu obviously being weak to water ice, Rotom covers, grass fighting, Torn covers, and then Fairy, which I have this fucking Klefki or whatever it is for. Now another one that I drafted is the Uxie, which makes it so I don't have to worry about ground types as much. I do have a Torn and a Rotom, obviously, but I do like having the Uxie as just like more of a bulky sponge for that, seeing as my grass, which is Ogre Pawn, because that guy is fucking cool. Or, well, that girl, my bad, is fucking cool. Because I don't really like having to deal with, say, a Grey Tusk, right? Grey Tusk into Torn and Rotom is a lot easier than Grey Tusk into your Uxie, in my opinion. Having to decide, hey, do I want Knock? Do I want Mega Horn? Do I want CC? You probably want because of the Tinglu and the Snorlax. Like Headlong Rush / EQ, you probably want for Klefki and like Chandelure, stuff like that. So I think having these three together specifically, let's put one here and here because that's easier to see. I mean, those three together specifically gives me a really nice overall like way to deal with ground types. Meanwhile, Tinglu is a very good like overall sponge. It takes any one hit that you want. It really does not care. Which kind of Torn does as well if you invest for it. Rotom Wash can kind of do as well. Uxie can kind of do as well. So a lot of my mons will be able to take the hit that I need, which I think is good enough. However, after getting like these types of mons, I do obviously need some offense, which is Mienshao, really fucking strong. Last time I was in the UPBA, I had Mienshao and it was doing absolute wonders for me, obviously. So we have Ogre Pawn, which is the new funny mon from the Teal Mask. I was actually surprised that it lasted till round 5 because it's kind of like a thumbnail mon, obviously. But also Ogre Pawn is just really fucking good. The common types that switch into grasses are flying and fire. I got rock. Like, who cares? Like, you want to go into your steel type probably doesn't have recovery, so I just click Leech Seed. Hey, now suddenly, your steel type is getting whittled down. I can sub Leech Seed, like, click my funny cudgel move. I think this mod is really fucking good, so that's why it's here. It's also a spike setter, which I have 3 of in this draft, which is kind of unnecessary, but like, what do you do about it, you know? And then I have Snorlax and Chandler as well as additional offense, even though like Rotom Wash and Torn can also be like offensive with like nasty plot sets, and like Yuxi and Klefki can do setup shit. So I do have Snorlax and Chandler if I do need immediate offense from them as well. Snorlax just being the strong normal button. I think other than Steals, which my draft already pressures pretty well by having Ogerpon, which Steals would like to check. Torn, which if you don't have a good electric, generally your steel's going to be to check to that. And I wrote Rotom Wash to switch in on them. I have Tinglu, Mienshao, Chandelure to punish all of them. Klefki is also my Terramon, which I did give Terra Ground, again, can break steels. And with Terra Fairy, it will probably put more pressure on steels as well. Snorlax being an additional piece in that, putting pressure on with normal moves, and also being able to break them with strong earthquakes and stuff like that. And then I have Chandler because I wanted a like true special breaker that doesn't need to set up or anything like that. I think Chandler fits that role really well. It's also just a really cool Pokemon in my opinion. So strong ghost moves I think also are somewhat underappreciated just because there is a lot of strong offensive dark types, but I don't think there's a lot of strong defensive dark types outside of like Tinglu, right? So because like something like Crocodile, I'm saying like a lot. It's because I like this draft. I don't know if you could tell. But something like Crocodile, for example, it's not one to switch on Chandelure, because if Chandelure just clicks the fire move, then you're gone anyway. Chimpow's not in this draft. Something like Weavile also does not really want to come in on Chandelure. Chew does, but Chew is also like cringe, and I do have Snorlax and Tinglu for that, so Chew is not exactly a mon I'm too worried about. And then we have the GOAT, the absolute undisputed GOAT right here. That's Phanpy. That's literally the best Pokemon that has ever been made, ever. So, we will be clicking Banded Terra Earthquake, because this is my second Terramon alongside Klefki. I think Fairy and Water, unironically, I think Phanpy's pretty decent as a defensive mon. Obviously, it is no Tinglu, but I do think it has its niche cases where it can be good, as just like click EQ, click rocks type of mon, have Ice Shard, stuff like that. I think it can genuinely be kind of good, so might as well draft it, right? Now, overall, is this the best thing that I've ever drafted? Absolutely, dude. No. I think it's pretty decent. I think I can win my games with this. And overall, I do like this team. There's a lot of options for me. I think that my pivot core is really strong with Torn, Rotom, Mienshao, and Yuxi. Just being able to U-turn and Volt Switch in the case of Rotom Wash on a lot of mons. And I guess Ogerpon also has U-turn. So it can fill in with that as well. But what I like about that is, like, say they bring out an electric type on Torn, I can go Tinglu. I can also go out into one of my just general bulky pivots in Rotom and Yuxi and get more momentum, stuff like that, to try and scare them out. Like, for example, on like a Kilowattrel, I U-turn with Torn, go my Ogerpon, I threaten a Kilowattrel, and then I U-turn on like a Steel type, and then I bring a Mienshao, and then I U-turn on, like, you can make it really annoying for them that way, because take the example, right, of Torn and Rotom Wash. If I'm constantly U-turning on a mon that Rotom Wash threatens, like, say, I know it's not in the game, but say it's like Steelix, right? I'm constantly U-turning on the Steelix with Torn and Rotom Wash. Now, if I, okay, well, Steelix is kind of a bad example, because, like, you know, Rowan Wash can not Volt Switch on that. Okay, we're gonna do this differently. I'm U-turning with my Yuxi on a Dark type into my Mienshao. And then on that, they go like a poison. There we go. I get to go back into Yuxi. Now, that makes it very telegraphed for me. Because at some point, I can also just decide, hey, what if I, with my Mienshao, where I know they're going into their poison every single time, let's say it's like a wheezing, for example. If I know that, I can go, hey, they have to go wheezing every time on my Mienshao, because my Mienshao threatens their Mon very heavily. If I then suddenly click, say, I don't know, Hyper Beam with my Mienshao, and take out their wheezing that way, oh shit, my Mienshao suddenly freed up. Obviously, Hyper Beam is also not the best example, but it is an example that I think could be funny, and that I have actually run in the past, if you remember my UPBA season. So I do think there's a lot of options for me here to work with. I do think that I want to change some things around on this draft eventually, but for now I'll be sticking with this. So I hope you enjoy my season, as I don't really upload a lot, obviously, but I hope I can entertain you for the season. And I think our first match will be against Matthew Dr. Slacking, which is going to go up tomorrow. Please do go watch that tomorrow, and also watch Dr. Slacking or Matt's perspective of the game. But he's a really fucking funny guy. He's really chill. So it would do a huge, or well, it would be a huge thing for me if you do go check him out. And check out all the coaches of the PPL. I know it's 28. It's kind of a lot, but it's worth it, trust me. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow.